On April 18, 1955, Albert Einstein passed away in Princeton, New Jersey. He'd been working in his office just days before his death, lost in thought as he often was. But this time, it wasn't equations or theories occupying his mind, but rather the notion of a peaceful death, an existence after life, and the possibility of communicating with the cosmos. He told his assistant that when his time came, he'd like to be cremated quietly and for his ashes to be scattered without ceremony. What actually happened to his body defies those wishes and created one of the strangest scientific stories of the 20th century. As a brilliant physicist and humanitarian, Einstein had many admirers, but few as fervent as Thomas Stoltz Harvey, the pathologist at Princeton Hospital where Einstein died. During the autopsy, Harvey removed Einstein's brain without telling anyone, much less the family. He then sliced it into more than 200 pieces, which he preserved in jars of formaldehyde and photographed. He even reportedly drove across the country several times with the boxes of brain samples in the trunk of his car. What was he looking for? Maybe answers to what made Einstein tick. Or maybe he was just a man possessed, albeit with a noble goal. In any case, Harvey kept the brain hidden for decades. Meanwhile, Einstein's eyes were removed by his ophthalmologist, Henry Abrams. They were locked away in a New York City safe deposit box, never studied, but always whispered about. When journalists discovered the brain in 1978, it reignited public curiosity about Einstein's genius. Parts were sent to researchers who found some intriguing structural differences. Some said Einstein had an unusual number of glial cells, which may have helped transmit nerve impulses faster. Others pointed to a thicker-than-normal corpus callosum, which connects the brain's right and left hemispheres. One researcher even claimed that Einstein's parietal lobe looked different from most brains, which might have something to do with his extraordinary ability for abstract thought. But many scientists argued that one brain, however unusual, cannot explain genius. The findings may have been chance or simply normal variation. Regardless, Einstein's brain became a sensation, a celebrity long after he died. Researchers continued to study it into the 21st century, searching for answers where there may not be any, debating what to make of their findings. In 2009, a team led by neurologist and geneticist Dr. Allen removed the brain from storage and scanned it using high-powered microscopes. What they found was a higher-than-normal concentration of a protein called tau, which is associated with Alzheimer's disease. Tau is usually found in the spaces between nerve cells, but in people with Alzheimer's, it builds up inside the neurons themselves. When that happens, the brain loses its ability to function, leading to the symptoms of the disease, such as memory loss and confusion. The researchers concluded that Einstein probably had a genetic mutation that prevented the tau protein from breaking down properly. This finding suggested that Einstein may have suffered from an early form of dementia when he died. There's no evidence of that, however, in letters written by Einstein in the last years of his life. In fact, his son said his father's mind was as sharp as ever when he died. Other scientists criticized the study, pointing out that the brain had been preserved in formaldehyde for decades, which could have distorted the results, and some argued that Einstein's genius had nothing to do with his genes. The truth is, we still don't know what makes someone smart, let alone a genius. We can speculate endlessly about brain structure and chemistry, but genius may turn out to be something we can't measure, much less understand. Yet the pursuit continues. Scientists remain fascinated by Einstein's brain, in part because of who he was, but perhaps also because of what he represents, the endless capacity of the human mind, even after it stops ticking. Albert Einstein once said, "I know not only what I am, but also what I might be. This gives me an infinite source of contentment and happiness." Did he really know what he was, though? His brain suggests he did, that his mind, at least, was special. What's less clear is whether that's all there is to genius. When you think about it, there are plenty of talented people whose names aren't known outside their fields, let alone their towns. You could say their talents went unrecognized, or that they lacked the circumstances to develop their abilities. But maybe there's something more, some spark that ignites the world's interest, that makes us marvel at the human mind. Maybe that's what we're really after when we try to understand geniuses like Einstein, to crack the code of their exceptional gifts. But if so, we may be asking the wrong questions. Maybe the secret isn't in the brain, but in the ideas, in what the mind creates and how it changes the world. If you enjoyed this story, please like this video, subscribe to the channel for more thoughtful documentaries, and share it with someone who loves curious history. Thanks for watching.